Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading for the actor Kang. I know that he has been he finalized his enlistment. So yes, now he's out. So let's celebrate this and let's see what's available for him for what is the next months that are remaining of this 2025, and if there's a bit of 2026. Let's see. So yeah, let's start with the cards that he got. We start with the Five of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Tower in the middle. We have the Star card, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. And then I pull an extra card as an advice for him as an overall energy. And he got the Ace of Swords. That the keyword in this card, it says new ideas. So yeah, I think that is very fitting actually, this card, this keyword of new ideas, because probably he's going through a certain transformation. I think that yeah, he's back, but somehow the cards are advising him to, somehow forget about the old ways, or maybe how he had, before he enlisted, maybe he had ideas, or he had, like maybe a list of things that he wanted to do after he got out, and he had all these expectations. But the tower in the middle is very is very strong, in the sense that things are no longer the same. Somehow maybe him being back, he's going to come back to a different environment, or to a different reality. Something has changed. Maybe something has changed also inside himself as well. We have the Five of Swords. We started reading with the Five of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. So I think that for him, being in the military, it has been, yeah, it has been tough. He definitely challenged himself. But he also learned a lot. He learned a lot about his ability to work harder, and I think that he was able to, surprise maybe people, and just like, maybe at the beginning he sort of, was able to um sort of sense or perceive that there was some animosity in the people around him, or maybe people had like not so good, vibes, or people were not that friendly, or people were not that accepting. The Five of Swords is giving me like maybe passive aggressiveness from maybe the people that he worked with. There was a tension in the air, and maybe like, yeah, a lot of passive aggressiveness, like people not saying it to his face, but maybe, being a bit aggressive towards him, or just being maybe condescending. But I think that he was able to turn this sort of criticism that came his way, he was able to, reverse this. And with the Eight of Pentacles, there's this focus on work, and focus on productivity, and focus on being better. So I think that he discovered that, that yeah, it wasn't like a very friendly place. Maybe, also, I think that it could be certain people, but also it could be the place in general, that there was maybe violence, or there was like, maybe, the guidelines, or the instructions of what he had to do, it came out very aggressively. So somehow there was a feeling of like, I'm not safe here. um but he learned a lot of, he I think that there's something about him becoming more skillful, maybe working more his body. And I know that, some kind, of course, it is a man that he is in the business, and he's always looking flawless, and he had done, action roles, and he's always working on his appearance and everything. But maybe this role that he had in the military, it was much more specific. It was much more about strengths. It was much more about, somehow you don't get distracted in a place like this. You don't even blink. because maybe there's dangers, or maybe there was like um um you know the atmosphere felt very exigent, um very tough, in the sense that you had to be, very very focused. You had to, there was no place for apologies. There was no place for you to be like, oh, well, today I'm going to relax. No, there wasn't the case for him. So probably he put everything of himself to be able to accommodate himself to this situation. Maybe he could come back a bit with a bit of stress, because there's something about him maybe having to be vigilant, or having to be very pendant about certain processes, or certain routines. So maybe he's going to come back to his normal life, but he will keep the routines, because somehow they are somehow like, um, it's like a tattoo on his skin. It's like it's carved in his flesh. It seems I think that the military definitely changed him, and he will bring it to his reality, because the tower in the middle is giving me like, things will not be the same. He will not be the same person. So I think that with this, I'm not saying that he's not going to come back to be in the spotlight. I'm saying that he's going to come back, but he's going to come back like a changed person. And probably there's something about him having to shed old skin, having to get rid of certain people or situations. I don't see people in a specific, but I think that he's like, what has been unstable in my life, I'm going to eliminate it. So probably he's going to be very like cold and decisive about this need for reconstruction, or need to rebuild his reality. He's not the same person. He's not the same man. He came back. I think that it's not so much about him going through a transformation, but something changed in the industry. Maybe there's something about him coming back to the scene, or him coming back to his life, maybe as an actor. And somehow there's something going on with the business. Like probably he's coming back with maybe a lot of illusions from, a lot of past plans, that he had. And there's something with the star and the five of pentacles that somehow is letting me know that fame is going to be difficult, and I mean, and with this, I don't mean it like he is going to lack fame, because he is famous, he shines, he is someone that has that light, that ability to shine. He is a star, but it could be that he's going to come back, and in the next months, there's going to be lack, or either of resources, or possibilities, or opportunities to get back to work right away. So I think that something happened in the industry, or something changed in the way maybe actors are going to be receiving the roles, or there's going to be like a stop, or like a delay, or like a cut in the investments. With the five of pentacles, I think that maybe he's going to have to get used to, um, somehow maybe opportunities are not going to be the best, and maybe he will be like, I'm not going to risk, instead of just choosing whatever so I can work, I'm going to wait for things to get better, or for opportunities to get better. Maybe there's something about, the acting scene, or the acting roles that are going to be very limited, especially this like later part of the year, this next months, like November, December, and when I see the five of pentacles, I see, people being out in the cold. and literally I know that in that part of the world in South Korea is going to be, in other places of course, is going to be sorry, winter. So there's something about me thinking about the cold days, snow, and I think that it would be better for him to maybe spend winter, maybe, yeah, doing, maybe him presenting himself, him recording content or creating content on his own, instead of going back to a set, or going back to start working on something, because I don't see something available for him yet, at least not this year. I think that what is available is not good enough, and he could feel like, oh wow, like why, like, is it, is it because of me? Did I do something wrong? Like, is there something going on with me? No, there's nothing going on with him. It's not about, his ability or his impact, his ability to be influential. It's more that there's something that is not doing very well in the, maybe in the K dramas, or in the Korean cinema. I think that um, there could be certain options, but they are not really good, and probably people are going to, somehow take a break. Maybe some producers or screenwriters or directors, they're going to take a break and then restart next year. So I see him somehow taking a pause as well, and be like, I think that is wise for him to sort of observe his surroundings, or maybe, rely on what his colleagues tell him about the situation, because I think that there's something going on. There's not much investment, there's lack of resources. So, he should just, maybe, yeah, work on his image, maybe, yeah, use his image and influence to promote himself individually, but not to go back to the set, the the filming set. Yeah, and the ace absorbs also new ideas. I think that also he has, the advice for him is that he has to um invest in new ideas. Something has changed, and I think that he knows this. Maybe it's his mentality, maybe these are his priorities, maybe this is his personal goals. I think that he is a different person, and I think that he's also evaluating, okay, what do I do with my career, or with my exposure, or with my image, or with what people expect of me. I think that he's going through some kind of, um, revelation of, like, observing, okay, like, I'm not satisfied with what I've been given. Maybe about opportunities, about work opportunities. There seems to be a lack of opportunities, so he is going to have to start over and get more creative. With the Ace of Swords, I believe that he could get inspired, or actually, like, associate maybe with someone new, with a new friend, or with a new colleague, with someone that can actually help him, create something new, start something new. Things are changing very fast. I don't know if it's technology, or I don't know if it's that somehow the actors, they are changing the way they are working with their image. They are more independent, so there's something about them being like, I will not wait just to be hired, to come back. I'm going to create something on my own. So probably he is one of these person that he would benefit, at least, the next months, and maybe the beginning of 2026, in building something new, like, maybe his own channel, his own platform. But it's all about not waiting for others, because I think that there's money, or the economy is going to be very tight. So he has to save his energy, save his talent, also not waste time on projects that they sound a bit like, when they sound like, this proposition is not serious. So he also has to listen to his intuition, and be very perceptive about, not getting into roles that maybe he's like, yeah, this is not for me. I want to work, but I'm not that desperate. I think that the key is not to go desperate, not to go into desperation, but he has to adapt. He has to also see that the reality has changed. I don't know what is going on with actors these days, or if there's something going on that they know or the community knows. But things are shaking a bit. Maybe things are not, the numbers are not going very well. So somehow it's better to wait. It's better to wait for this year to end, for him to connect with this new reality, connect with this new self of his. um I don't see other people like accompanying him. I actually think that this process is going to be very personal, probably very lonely. But I think that with the star card, there's something about, yeah, him being a star. So this is part of his journey. This is not about him losing his stardom or his losing his light, but it's also somehow facing reality that maybe things are not that abundant these days. So it's better to wait. It's better to wait for when things get better. So yeah, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.